Hello friends, now let us take up the concept number 10, 11.10, converting reference types. We have learnt about type conversions in the chapter number 3 relating to primitive types. Though type conversions are classified into two types, implicit type conversions and explicit type conversions. Implicit type conversions are known as automatic type conversions. Explicit type conversions are known as typecasting. That we have learned. Those are relating to primitive types. Now we have to discuss the same feature of converting types relating to reference types. This concept is not so easy, and for this purpose you must have some background knowledge. So first I focus on the background knowledge which you must require as a prerequisite in order to understand these concepts. In order to understand these type conversion concepts relating to reference types, you must know something, and these elements we will discuss in the forthcoming chapters, mainly in the inheritance. That's why first I want to give you a briefing about the inheritance and class hierarchy. Thereafter, I will explain the features of type conversion relating to reference types. Inheritance. Actually, in real life also we use inheritance. It is a hierarchy that you know that there is a family tree. Suppose let us start from here. Dad, and he is having two sons, son 1 and son 2. Son 2 is having one son and one daughter, that is grandson 1, granddaughter 1. Grandson is having one son, one daughter, great grandson, great granddaughter, and he is having son 2 also, great grandson 2. This is the family hierarchy. It is like a tree, one stem, thereafter branches and all that. Actually, the inheritance in Java also almost similar. Most concepts are borrowed from this only. So if you know this, you can understand it very well, very easily. So if you come to Java's inheritance, first what is inheritance? We must understand. Inheritance means creating new classes using the existing classes. Actually, inheritance is a very powerful feature. Because of the inheritance, OOP paradigm has become, web programming has become very popular in the world. Inheritance is such a powerful feature. Why it is powerful, I tell you. First, before that, what is inheritance? Creating new classes using existing classes. Actually, if we have to develop any new element, there are two approaches. First approach is we have to develop everything from the scratch. That is one approach. Obviously, it takes a lot of time, and we have to spend a lot of money also, lot of cost, time and cost. And second approach is developing new things using the existing things. Suppose if you are able to extend the existing thing and develop a new thing, that is second approach. That is very economical. It is a big time saver. So in Java classes, many times if you have to develop a new class, if you think you can get uh, some classes which are useful for developing the new class, then we can take that class and extend its functionality, extend its properties as well as functionalities, then new class is developed. And just for example I show you. Now this is the existing class. Now, for your present purpose, this is required. This is required. Now, if you take already 50% of the functionality or properties are ready. So, you want to develop a new class. So, you have to extend its properties like this. You have to extend its functionality like this. So, almost with a 50% of the effort, you are able to develop a new class. And one more thing I have to tell you, whenever we develop a new thing totally, we have to face some problems in functionalities. We have to test it, then correct it, and then only we use it. But as far as inheritance, by using inheritance, suppose this is the existing class, and we have, by using this, we have developed the new class. This existing class has been used by many people. Already people are using. Any problems were there, those were rectified. So we can simply rely on this. Otherwise, we can test once and rely on that. And remaining 50% we have to test. There are many reasons behind it. Because of that, you can save a lot of time, you can save money, and you can develop reliable projects very easily. That is the importance of inheritance. Because of inheritance only, Java has become very popular. So now already explained class the family tree, that a family hierarchy I explained. Java class also almost developed in the same fashion. Now you see, at the top of that one class is there. You may call it a top, or from bottom if you think as a root, one class is there, that is object. And here one more point I have to tell you. This is the superclass. That is the superclass. These are the subclasses. And for this is the superclass. This is the subclass. For this is the superclass. This is the subclass. So object is the supermost class, and every class whatever we develop in Java, those classes may be developed by library, Java Standard Library API, or those may be user defined classes. Every class is either directly or indirectly subclass of the object. And one more thing you have to understand, that object is only the superclass. It never be a subclass because it is at the top of that. Okay, first you have to understand this hierarchy. It is just similar to this one. Which one? Family tree, family hierarchy. Both are similar. Because of this mechanism, lot of advantages are there. From real life, if you see, whatever facilities or properties your father is providing to you, you can use them. You need not specially purchase them. In the same way, suppose your father is providing you A, B, C services. Being a son, you can enjoy it. And you want EF also. Then EF you can get on your own. However, you will be the owner of 5 services. You can own 5 services A, B, C, which are provided by your father, and EF, which are provided by you. That means you can enjoy 5 services. Now, in the same manner, here many classes, numerous classes are there. Java library itself provides 4,000 classes. All these classes require some general utility services. Already explained to you, some equals. So you have to compare two objects are equal or not content wise. So that type of general utility services you require. Then actually that class, if requires, that class has to develop that and use it. But how can we simplify the burden of the programmer? For that purpose, Java developers developed a wonderful device, wonderful strategy. What is that strategy? This object class provides a big set of general utility services. General utility services, and object is the supermost class above all the classes. Whatever general utility services developed by object class are obviously inherited by every Java class. It may be either library class or it may be user defined class. Every class can enjoy it, whether it uses or not. Whenever it wants, it can use that. That is the greatest advantage of uh, the inheritance and class hierarchy. Already previous concepts I explained. Clone. Clone method belong to this. The same manner already explained. Equals, that also belong to object. That's why every Java class, without defining that, it can use as you are using your fathers and grandfathers and great fathers properties and all. This is the background knowledge you must have before understanding converting reference types. Okay, now you see the best example you take bank account. From bank account, this is the superclass. From the superclass, you are creating subclasses like SB account, current deposit account, recurring deposit account. This is fixed deposit account. Now you see that bank account. Bank account means you generally understand what operations are performed. A bank account is opened. In that, which operations are performed? Depositing money, withdrawing money, balancing amount, or closing account. So, this type of functionalities are there. And what are the properties? Properties are concerned: customer name, account number, and the original balance. Those are the properties. So, these are the general features. Now, that is the superclass. Now, let us call it as superclass. Now, from that, using superclass, we are defining 4 subclasses. Now, just to think of what is the relation between bank account and SB account. If you see that, what this is general, this is specific. Actually, this is a SB account also, savings bank account is also a bank account, but it is having some specific feature. So, whenever you want that specialization, then you subclass it like this. Suppose, for example, I tell you, for SB account holders, if any balance is there, on that banks, Indian banks pay 4% interest per annum. And whereas for current deposit accounts and all that, they don't pay the interest. Whatever may be the balance, banker never pays any interest on current deposit accounts. And fixed deposit account, these people are paid higher rate of interest depending on the period. And one time they deposit, and after the fixed period is over, then they can draw the principal amount as well as the interest. And RD account, recurring deposit, monthly certain amount you deposit, after certain period is over, they pay you the accumulated amount as well as interest. Now you see, all these are bank accounts only. Originally those are bank accounts. They have specific features. Because of those unique features, for the sake of identification, we are naming it differently, as a SB account, as current deposit account, as recurring deposit account, or a fixed deposit account, like that and all that. So now you see what is the importance of inheritance. Already bank account class is there. From bank account class, you have developed a subclass SB account. So few features where additional features are there, the features you redefine. They may be properties, means they may be variables, or they may be additional functionalities. And one more thing I have to tell you, superclass and subclass. Suppose somebody asks you which is bigger means most students tell that superclass is bigger. It is not so. Superclass is this one, subclass is additional. Now we see this is the superclass, this is the subclass. Generally, subclass is bigger than the superclass because superclass is having general features, and as far as subclass is concerned, specific features. Generally, we add on new properties and new functionalities. That's why generally subclass is bigger than the superclass. Don't simply go by name. So first, this is the background you must have, and with this prerequisite knowledge, then you can understand uh, converting reference types.